Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Big Danny with a new playlist titled Hey Believer. Okay, what's Hey Believer about? Hey Believer is going to be a new series and a new playlist in my YouTube channel. What I'll be doing here essentially is talking about Christian history, Bible history. I noticed the problem of a lot of believers have a knowledge-based issue. They do not really know why they are Christians. They do not know what their Christianity is about. They were just born into a Christian family, and yeah, that's how they became Christians. For one thing I'm noticing as I grow up, as I get older, is that apart from the charismatic part of our faith and our belief, there is also a very knowledge-based fact. Sorry for the break, guys. Someone entered the office, so I had to pause it. Yeah. So, like I said, this is going to be a very knowledge-based channel. I'll be using information from the past to justify things that we have now. And especially for Christians, I have a genuine passion for letting them know the truth. Christianity is not a religion of just like dummies. It's not a religion for dummies. Even if we trust God completely, even when things don't look like what we expect, or even if it doesn't make sense to the average person, we trust God completely. But it doesn't mean that this is a religion for dummies. So I will be using this channel to really justify things like this. For this first episode, we're going to be talking about, for the first few episodes, we're going to be talking about the persecutions, and these are the persecutions that Christians faced after the death of Christ. First on our list to be Nero, because anytime you search on the history of persecution after the death of Christ, Nero tops the charts. That guy, I've been doing my research on Nero, and I realized like Nero, a lot of people try to talk about how his past is what influenced his character in the future. Just the way when like a serial killer does something, people don't just kill them immediately. They want to know their thought process and what happened in the past that has made them this sort of person to kill another human being for, I don't know, nothing or pleasure. So Nero is going to be our first topic of discussion. Nero's name was, it looks bad here because like his name is so long. Nero's name was Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus, and he was born on 15th of December 37 AD in an Italian town in Antioch. His dad's name was Ganius Domitius Ahenobarbus, and his mom's name was Julia Agrippina. When Nero was just 2 years old, he was separated from his mother. And we all know that a mother plays a very crucial part in the development of a child. Nero, on the other hand, was separated from his mother at this young and tender age. And when he got separated from his mom, he started living with his dad. The reason why he got separated from his mom was that she was implicated in a plot against like the emperor at that time, which is a very grave and great offense. So, shit, guys. Which is a very grave and great offense in that time. And so he started living with his dad. A few years later, Nero's dad died too. So sad, yeah. And when his dad died, he was sent to live with his aunt and his aunt and I think a person that was a dancer or something, which just led him to living a very exposed life to bad vices, things like that. And so that's how he was for a while. After a few years, Nero ended up coming back to his mom, because I think the implication that she got into, they sorted it out and they realized that she was not part of it. And the emperor at that time too was also assassinated. Nero's mom was brought back to the palace, and Nero was brought to the palace at 13 years old. His mom was also a master schemer. At 13 years old, his mom made him marry his cousin. that was a big offense then because it was like incest. But before they made the incest, she ensured that she twisted and turned it to make it like illegal to marry your cousin, because the way she did it, it put Nero in a better position of ascending the throne. The man she got married to then wasn't even somebody she should marry. I think he was her uncle. She got married to him too, and yeah, the situation just kept getting messy and messy. And the man's son, she ensured Nero was put in a higher chance of being the next emperor. And after that happened, the man she got married to at some point ended up dying. And after his death, the next person, based on how his mother had already set up everything, was Nero to come into power. I'm saying this in a very simple way, so like we do not get lost. And I'm saying the way I'll be gisting with my friends about like a life, normal life gist, because normally the way you see these stories explained online, you start losing your train of thought and it starts looking like you are in a history class. I do not want that. I don't want this to be a history class. I want it to be like we're just of something that happened yesterday. So enjoy it, okay? Okay. So after she did all she could and ended up pushing her son into power, I remember what Nero did. Nero told the ministers at the time that the man that died, who was staying as his stepfather here, the man that died, they should do something. I'm trying to remember the word he used, but you can make an appeal for somebody to be called a god. Like I'm trying to look for the word. Let me see. Him deifying you, like making you a deity. So they made that man that died a deity. They go ahead to make him a deity. And I feel like there was some sort of narcissism with Nero. Like I don't know what it is, but there was little traces of narcissism in him, because immediately after the deify, like I thought he was doing it to honor the death of the man. Apparently, immediately they made the man deified and make him a deity. He started calling himself son of the gods, and he was not calling himself son of the gods just the way I'll call myself, like Big Daddy. Like he was calling himself son of the gods, so he truly believes he's a god. If he's a son of the god, he himself is a god. And they started calling him, I'm trying to remember what the word is. Let me come back again. Divi Filios, yeah. Divi Filios, they started calling him son of the god, things like that. And Nero kept going this way, acting this way. And in his time, people really liked him because unlike the regular type of emperors, Nero was like a free emperor. Let's use an instance. Imagine Nigeria now. Every Saturday or Friday night, Tinubu at Asoro tells you, yeah, we can have a party. And a lot of people found this like so cool, like wow, he's so in tune with us, he's so close with us, is this, is that. So he really had the love and everything. Like he was a party boy, let's just leave it there. I'm a party rider, follow me and be fancy. And why he was a party boy was, in my own theory, was the type of life he was exposed to while he was younger. From that 2 years old when he was separated from his mom. So this guy was more of a party boy, lifestyle, pleasure, aesthetics, that type of thing. That's the type of guy Nero was, and here he was working as an emperor. It's like putting a creative to work as a banker. They are regularly going to be bored with the normal typing of numbers, things like that. So Nero's mom was trying to always find a way to put herself in power, make herself queen and all that. And once he got the hint of it, Nero ended up killing his mom too. Before he killed his mom wanted him to stay married to that babe. I think her name is Octavia. He wanted her to stay married to that. She wanted him to stay married to that babe. but he wasn't feeling the babe anymore because like there's another girl he liked, but he was like he can't like this girl, she's not in the class of Octavia. Like there are lots of messy things that will happen. And there was even a time that the mom put her face on the coin, the money coin then, and that was a very big thing to do because for your face to be on the coin, you have to be on a particular level of authority. The mom was just giving him issues back and forth, and the babe that he wanted to marry at that point just told him that just kill this babe. Even Octavia, he ended up murdering her. So now, Nero was just the boss of himself. At a point, just like some countries that their presidents, instead of doing their work, they'll be traveling, doing all those type of things, flexing. That was the same thing Nero was doing. He'd be going for singing competitions, like, bruh, do your freaking job. He wasn't doing any of that. He was just like having a good time, flexing. And I told you earlier that Nero was like a lover of aesthetics and all that. The building where they were staying in, the Golden House, that's what they called it then. The building they were staying in at that point, I don't think he was feeling it. Like the place was not cute to him. The aesthetics he wanted, like especially when he had to throw his parties and all type of things, like it was not giving at all. And I think he kept bringing it up that he wants to make some architectural changes to this and this, but a lot of people's businesses were tied to the places they would have to like demolish, like landlords here. Their businesses were tied to the places they have to demolish if they wanted to start working on that immediately. So I think there was a pushback and it wasn't just never going to happen. And then one night in Rome, you know these touches, these lamp touches? Yes, the lamp touches was like close to a marketplace and things were just going on normally. Everything was fine, and then there was like a huge wind and everywhere caught fire. Like the fire started small, but everywhere started burning. And there are a lot of theories about this. Some people say Nero ordered that fire be started by some group of people, and other people he left the place. Other people said that he wasn't even away and he wasn't even there, and he just came to realize like, oh, this has happened to this place. And so yeah, the fire lasted for days. That's how bad it was. And immediately fire stopped. Nero stepped into action. I'm so surprised that somebody who is like a baller, he really doesn't care about like things like this, governance or the people. He's just a party boy and lifestyle. And for the first time, he stepped into action. He started clearing the places, looking for reliefs for people, working with people that were trying to solve the fire issue. Some people lost their homes, some people lost their lives, things like that. And Nero was really working. The way he was working was more raising suspicions. Like, are you sure this guy did not? Is all part of it. What's he doing here? That's type of vibe here. And someone just said he probably started it. One way or the other, the news got to him that people were saying he's the one that started the fire. And guess what? This is a dent to his fire, this is a dent to his lifestyle, this is a dent to who he is as a person. And then he thought, who can be the scapegoat for this case? Who could have possibly done it? And then there was, luckily for him, unfortunately for them, there was a religious sect that just had their grand or master disciple crucified years back, and people still do not like them. Just for example, the way like in the country we are now, there are like tribal wars, and we just have like issues. Oh, because you are this, I can't like you. Because you are this, I can't like you. If there's a situation where there is like an insurgent and they say anybody from this particular one, you are free to kill them, then you see what's really in people's hearts. Yeah, that's what happened there. And so he thought like, who are the best people to be the scapegoats for this thing? I just don't want it to be tied to my vibe. I don't want it to be tied to my aesthetic and anything. And who else? Never thought about the Christians. Yeah, they can carry the cross, they can bear it. And immediately law was given that any Christian cause they should package them. It's time for trouble. And that's how they were capturing Christians. They were beating the shit out of them, they were beating them, they were killing them. And it's different if you have lied against somebody and then you leave them to juggle justice for like whatever the outcome is to happen to them. But what type of person would you be to now participate in something you know that is wrong and you lied against this person? You have lied, that's already a great enough problem. People are already dealing with them. Then you, the liar, decided to take it upon yourself to start persecuting them, especially. One of which was that Nero would capture Christians and get the skin of animals, like a dead animal, the blood of that animal, and then tie it to the Christian's body. And I know I told you this guy was a party boy lifestyle, and then they don't have like DSTV, they don't have like Showmax or Netflix. So real life was at Netflix. So they would gather a group of people in a stadium, to gather those people there, and then people would come and perform for them. Guys, you see what I'm going through? Just to create this content for you. Okay, so yeah, there was no Netflix there. Netflix was a real life. And so I told you Nero was a party boy. And so he will be the one to organize the show. Just gather, there is a show this Friday, everybody turn up. So people will turn up home. And then Nero will gather Christians, tie the skin of dead animals to them, like the blood and the skin, will just tie it on their body. And then they'll put them in the middle of the they'll put them in the middle of the stadium and then release like bears or lions. Everybody like going to pass this one. Is this, I don't even know if it's 3D action or horror film. And then those animals would tear the Christians apart, they'd be running around, and like that was entertainment for Nero. Nero would go pack more Christians and say, okay, they're having another show, but okay, let's say it's night. Instead of using those torches, they'll set Christians ablaze on different places as the lights, as the torches for the party. Nero was a bad boy, best believe. Like there's no two way about it. There's no way to comprehend that level of wickedness, knowing that you are not sure this enemy that started it. You lied, but then you are pushing it and ensuring that these people pay for it. What was a very big lesson at that point, and what was something that really caused a big revolution in Christianity, is the state of heart of the Christians at that point. It's crazy because a while back I was reading something about the will of God, and I was wondering, like, what is the will of God? You know, when we want to do something, people say, oh, you don't know if it's God's will, is it God's will, is it this, is it that? And I was wondering, what is the will of God? And I came across that Bible verse. I'll put it down, I can't remember, I can remember what the Bible verse says, that in everything give thanks in all circumstances, because this is the will of God in Christ Jesus or something for you, something. Yeah, I'll put it here, so okay, permit me. But that gave me a very fast revelation that it doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter if you are going through hell here on earth. God's will for you, in good and in bad, is your heart. Is a state of thanksgiving. Your heart is in the state of gratitude, that you know that there is more than what you are going through. You know that there is more than what you are facing at that point. You know that there is more than how do I put it? Like you have something more than what is happening now. Like, this is just for a phase. You have something more than what is happening. And I'm referencing this because the Christians at that point, one of the jail persons said, even when they were about to be released to be burnt, even when they were about to be released to be torn apart by animals, beaten and killed, they still offered to pray for the people that were about to kill them. They still offered thanksgiving to God in that situation. And I think about it now, it is so baffling. I always tell most of my friends that you don't know how to be a Christian till you are in persecution. You genuinely have no idea what it means to be a Christian till you face serious and heavy persecution. And that's when you know. I tell them that if you want to know about Christ, go and ask the people that are not comfortable doing it. Because it's easy to say, I love Jesus, you're eating rice every day, you're sleeping on your bed every day, your iPhone is charged, you can order from Globo, you can do all of that. It's easy to be a Christian then. And this also takes me back to the part in the Bible that says, what differentiates you from other people or unbelievers when you are only good to people who are good to you? What differentiates you from unbelievers when you are only merciful to people who show you mercy? And that's why the Bible tells us that if you are slapped on this cheek, turn the other cheek. That's like turning the other cheek is not because you are a dog. It shows that other person that what? How can this person receive evil for me and they give me permission to do more? That ministers to people more than you being just nice to other people. Because like, there's no game. Jesus keeps setting the standard higher for us in every situation. So God's will for you is not the situation you're in or the decision you're about to make. His will for you is your state of heart while you go through it. And this just makes me honor the sacrifices of those people. Those people, their name is not documented in the Bible. That's just in history. Most of them will never know their name. They might have been a Bola or Salim or something like, well, I don't know if you hear about Christians then. But those people, like, they are not recorded, but it's recorded in heaven. They are not recorded in the Bible. They're not recorded anywhere. But see how willing they were to die for what they believe. See their state of their hearts, even when they were going through it. And it was so crazy that their behavior in that state of persecution is even what grew Christianity more. Because a lot of people were like, if these people were willing to die, were willing to take so much injustice for something they did not do, then there's something they know that we must know. And I genuinely honor them with this video. People that we do not know that died for this gospel, people that we do not know that have brought what we have today and have brought meaning to what we have today by acknowledging the sacrifice of Christ for us. And it's crazy. It's genuinely and truly crazy. And yeah, I just want us to think about these things and see how Christianity is more than like what you eat, and more than what you drink, and more than you being shy. Then they were praying for boldness, not to be killed. And here we're praying for boldness because we're shy, we're too demure, we're too guilty. Girl, pray, girl, preach. Girl, share the word of God, spread it like butter. Spread it and know what you're talking about here. Know your faith. Don't know your faith in a very shabby manner and shallow manner. So that when you're even dying for it, yes, when you're even dying for it, you know what you're dying for. You're not going to be those people that at the point of a gun to their head, they're like, oh yeah, I'm done with this. No, please, please, please learn what you believe in. Next week we'll be talking about something else, and I am so excited that I'm done and over with this video. It even took a turn that I never expected. It took a turn that is just making me wonder. I hope I've been able to pass some message. Next week we'll talk about someone else, okay? Yeah, before I end it, Nero eventually ended up killing himself. I'm happy about that, guys. If you want to read up on it, I will insert a link of some articles or videos for you to watch like better and have a better understanding of this. But yeah, Nero was killed by himself. I'm so happy about that. Her